We're going to be talking about steroids making you old. You know, there's going to be significant changes to your physique, not just in like, you know, temporary muscle fullness. Your overall like aesthetic appeal takes on a whole new look, and it's largely driven, at least what I speculated, by a lot of it being water retention, but also like actual, what I assume to be actual tissue accrual via certain mechanisms that are driven through anabolics, hyperplasia, obviously exacerbated significantly with growth hormone and things of this nature. And I actually did a video a while back called Keeping Your Hair versus Gaining More Muscle with Androgenic Steroids. And the progression their skin quality, facial structure, etc. has taken on throughout the years. You'll notice in bodybuilders, it gets significantly worse at an accelerated rate, and you take on a look that is just not that attractive, unfortunately. It's almost like the more muscle you gain above and beyond a certain point, the worse your face gets. And I did another video that was actually fairly popular called The Fat Head Effect Caused by Gaining Muscle. It's not just water retention. This is something you see very often with some of the top pros in the industry. After, even when he's shredded, he has this significant amount of mass just sitting on his body. This was another one, Justin Compton, when he was essentially, I don't know if he was natural here or free. And then this is his face after, like this is him on stage, fully dieted down. And this is, you know, like peak leanness. So we have like, throughout his progression, it was like, you know, he was like the skinny rail kid and his face is just like sharp jawline, you know, and then, you know, he has this hollow, you know, chiseled face when he's like first gaining mass over the years, and eventually he gets to a point where he's put on so much mass that even when he is shredded to the bone, his face has a significant amount of just like extra tissue hanging off of it. His face shrinks down to, you know, a more, I don't know, normalish looking face. His face was, you know, lean, chiseled, but, and like notably the most lean and chiseled before he even started bodybuilding. And then it turns into this like, you know, the sort of thing you see with Kai Green almost, like not to the same extent. And then, you know, however many years later, this is him peeled to the bone. And a lot of people have been commenting on his face over the past couple months here. I believe there's like 20 to 30 pounds of difference between these two videos. And obviously you can see how that a lot of people have been pointing out is how much younger he looks after coming off of the gear, where he shows one of his old videos. Like this is only like a few months ago or something like that. It almost seems like it's unavoidable to some extent, because these guys that are holding, it seems like the more mass you hold, like model looking face is sort of like out the window after a while, you know, like pretty boy face, I guess, by the sheer way anabolics cause their effects in the body, but the actual negative consequences, like on a cellular level, I don't even know exactly what I'm trying to say here, but some of the stuff is like, will kill you quicker, in my opinion, as well as age you quicker. Why do all bodybuilders, you know, who are like aggressively pursuing bodybuilding look like they're like 40 when they're in their 20s? I think it largely comes down to the diet model that they follow in conjunction with the drugs they're using, and the amount of time you're like redlining your body and constantly spiking mTOR. Like you're never in a state of autophagy, you're never in a cellular cleanup phase, you're never cleaning up the mess, and the oxidative stress is just like fucking rampant. They don't take care of themselves. Like there's no fucking antioxidants in their diet whatsoever. Their diet models are micronutrient deficient. I forget what it was, maybe it was like worms or like rodents or whatever. When you have like IGF-1 knockout animals, their life is extended. And, you know, this is why, partially why metformin is seen as such a promising anti-aging. The candle that burns twice as bright, burns half as long. Yeah, that was the saying. The flame that burns twice as bright, burns half as long. So I think that's essentially what's going on with bodybuilding. I think these guys are redlining their body with super physiological amounts of androgens, GH, insulin, etc. It's all very pro-aging, pro-inflammatory, pro-oxidative stress. And you're basically working for like two people in one when you're like a 300-pound bodybuilder eating this much food and taking this much drugs. The amount of shit your body has to do, the amount of stuff your heart has to do, the amount of stuff your lungs have to do, the amount of stuff your organs have to do, it's like twice the workload capacity of a normal human. So expectedly, and I think it's also why guys who weigh more and are taller are more likely to die quicker than somebody who is tiny and weighs very little, because they have less actual like requirement to support their physiologic functions. And then this massive fucking behemoth of a dude has massive requirements and energy expenditure and blah, blah, blah. And just all the processes is more stress on his organs than the next guy. So will steroids age you? Yeah, for sure. But, some of the stuff is probably temporary too, like Steve outlined. GH and anabolics and testosterone, blah, blah, blah. It's all like youthful hormones, and it's all the fountain of youth. And when you take this, like maybe at therapeutic replacement, it's a different story, obviously. But when you get into like bodybuilder territory and the diet models and, training practices and just overall lifestyle, I recommended blood test panels, anything else I'm associated with, it's all in the video description below. So thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.